Cass, my apologies, Cass. Keep it going for your DJ Butch. I knew that was gonna get him to turn the music up and everything. That nigga ain't been working this whole time. He been playing a mix. I shouted him out. That nigga was like, oh, let me go ahead and scratch some stuff real quick. He ain't slick. Hey, Cass is doing a great job. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, y'all. When I saw her, she had this Martin jacket on. That jacket is fire, whatever, right? And I was like, Cass, I'm so glad you introduced yourself because I was gonna rob you on your way to the car. That jacket is fire. Now, I'm not going to do it, but at first, I was going to do it. I was going to feel bad about it on the way home, but now I'm going to let her slide. I'm going to let her slide because she cool people, man. It's all good. How everybody doing? Y'all having a good time? Yeah. Mr. Sean was funny. Yeah, this is a good show so far. Like I said, my name is Marc Fazon. I like to be about transparency and telling y'all the truth and just being open and honest. Is that cool with y'all? Yeah. Y'all not going to judge me. This is a circle of trust right here, right? That's right. Cool, because I left my son home alone so I can tell these jokes tonight. Y'all said y'all weren't gonna judge me. I left that boy home with I put like a trail of goldfish and some Capri Suns leading to the bedroom. I just backed about the house. He don't know where I'm at. I don't know what he's doing. We both got plausible deniability. Now, before anybody picks up their phone and try to call a child protective services, my son is 21 years old. He all right. He's cool. He's cool. And it's not like there's a whole bunch of black men trying to slide in my son's DM and try to do dad stuff with him anyways. That's not gonna happen. The thing about being a father is like, as a parent, there's no rule book that you don't learn how to do this. It's kind of like on the job training. Like I learned a lot of stuff as a dad. For instance, did you know that if you have a kid and you're having buyer's remorse, you decide, hey, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm gonna drop my kid off at the fire station, right? Y'all know that? I thought, once again, this is a circle of trust. Y'all not going to judge me. You can drop your kids off at the fire station, right? Cool. Did y'all know it was an age cutoff, though? I dropped my son off. He was 15. That nigga knew my name, my address, and my social security number, boy. I got home. It's the 3 days, the first 3 days. That's it. After that, that's your kid. That's your kid. I did not know that. I did not know there was a cutoff. At 18, you've done the work. You keep that. That's yours now. Black, no trade back. And whenever I tell people like, oh, I'm a young dad, people like, you don't look like you're old enough to have a son that's 21. But the truth is, my son's mom was a cougar way before it was a trending topic on Twitter, y'all. True story. Like she came to my house to babysit one day, and she said she seen that bulge in the front of my diaper. Was like, 5 to 10 don't seem like that long in jail, man. And I said, and I don't want y'all judging her either, because I was a willing participant. She said those 3 magical words that all hopeless romantics love to hear. Close. She said, I give head. I said, girl, help me get this onesie off. I'm just saying, man, we not going out like that. But because I'm a young dad, me and my son, we would have real conversations all the time, stuff like that. Me and my son had the birds and bees conversation when he was like 12 years old. And I don't want y'all to think that like I'm a progressive dad who knew what he was doing. I caught my son watching porn. We had to have a conversation, okay? And as a man, I understood where my son was coming from. I remember being a teenage boy and destroying every pair of tube socks that I owned. So I wasn't judging them, y'all. That's not where I came from. But as a dad, I was pissed off because I was like, who told you to go in my room and watch a movie without my permission is what I want to know. Like, those were my movies. And what's crazy about that is he didn't even watch a DVD or anything like that. This fool was watching on the Fire Stick. It's crazy. That's how we got caught, because the Fire Stick lets you know when something's been watched. I had that movie queued up for myself for later. This nigga already watched it. It's crazy. Messed up my whole day. Cass just told you I was a clean comic. I'm up here talking about my son watching porn. That's crazy. That's crazy. No. Allegedly. Better get out my face, Tay. I got sponsors out here. You gonna try to get me caught up? Now I like to see who we got in the room. By a round of applause, make some noise if you got a Fire Stick and that bad boy's jailbroken. Okay, I see you, Diamond. You be jailbreaking them? Cool. Cause I work for DirecTV and my job is finding people who steal cables. Yeah, the camera's on for you. That's all right. Cause I'm coming. That's my job. Okay, okay. You out here using them technology terminologies. She said VPN. Hey, hey, I'm with you. I'm with you. She cutting up today, boy. I love it. What's crazy is my Fire Stick jailbroken too, bro. I ain't paid for cable since Barack Obama's first term in office, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I just can't do it. And now the streaming sites is just as bad. Like you gotta pay $20 for Netflix. You gotta pay $20 for Hulu. You gotta pay all that money for Amazon Prime. I'm like, you might as well just get cable again. This is crazy. And now they got the audacity. If I'm paying for Amazon Prime, why do I gotta deal with commercials too? That don't make any sense. Then they give you, like I said, you used to have a show, you would get a 22 episode seasons. They giving out 8 episodes. And then they want to ration out those episodes. You don't give me all 8 of those episodes. Boy, I swear, for God, I'm going to go. Hulu been tripping. Hulu ain't never been right. They always been crazy. They all wilding out. That's what I'm talking about. You might as well. Now, what I will say is, black people, we gotta stop calling our cable companies tripping about stuff that ain't their fault, y'all. It's not their fault. Some stuff is not their fault. Like with the Fire Stick, what I love about the Fire Stick is sometimes you can get a show a little bit early, whatever, right? So Power was on at the time. This lady gonna call in. She upset, talking about, "Hey man, I'm trying to watch Power. What's going on?" I'm like, "Ma'am, it's Saturday. Power don't come on till Sunday." She said, "Oh, my bad." I said, "Man, what's your account number?" She hung up on me and stuff like that. I'm like, I said, "She got a jailbroken Fire Stick, boy." Hey, listen, that is my job. I'm out here catching people like you, Diamond. Diamond, what is your last name and account number? That's what I need to know. That's what I need to know. So you just Diamond, you share out here just one name. I love it. Hey, I love it. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get that password after I leave tonight. Yeah. No shame in my game. No shame in my game at all. I love it. But yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, the whole thing about cable. I'm trying to think what else. Like, how much time I got? See what else I can hit y'all with tonight before I get up out of here. Yeah. Now, before I started working for DirecTV and all that stuff, I used to work for this bank. Now, I'm not going to shout that bank out because they're not paying me. But what I will say is they didn't give me raises, but they always told me I could chase my dreams. Do what you want with that information. Do you want that information? Now, what I would say about that company is they're a really big company and they had some really good, good features, functionalities. But they would do stuff like, you ever seen something that was racist, but it was so blatantly racist, like you had to scratch your head and look at yourself like, man, maybe I'm tripping. So the company, I'm not gonna say the name, they would do this thing in February. They said, in honor of Black History Month, we're gonna serve soul food in the cafeteria. So at first I'm already mad, but I'm like, you know what, Mark, don't trip. You gotta go investigate. So I get in there and I check out the menu. First thing on the menu they serving was fresh off the plantation fried chicken. I was like, nigga, is Paula Dean back there cooking? Like, who picked this menu? It gets worse, y'all. They had cotton picking collard greens. I said, okay. This is when it got bad, y'all. This is when it got real bad. It was a meal. It was a combo meal. They said you got Kunta Kinte Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid so sweet, you might lose a foot. I don't think y'all understand. That's a double entendre. That's a double entendre. Because you can lose a foot because of you runaway slave and because of diabetes. I had to give him credit. I said, hey, man, when you do racism right, I got to, pat you on the back. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Guess how much the meal cost, y'all? 40 acres and a mule. I was like, nigga, this is it. I was going to quit, but like I said, I couldn't judge them because I lied on my resume to get the job in the first place. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like anybody else just lie on their resume? Hey, you got to lie. You got to lie on these resumes, y'all. I'm not playing. Now, I didn't tell like a little lie, like, I can speak Spanish because I watched a couple episodes of Dora the Explorer. Now, I told like a really big lie. I put that I had an unpaid internship on my resume. Now, it's unpaid intern, right? It looks good. They love that type of stuff, right? So I'm on my resume, right? And the guy, I've been putting this on my resume for years, and no one ever asked me. This one white guy asked me, he said, excuse me, tell me a little bit more about this unpaid internship. I panicked, y'all, without even question. I said, slavery? We both knew I was lying, but because of white guilt, I got that job, y'all, bro. I was balling. I don't know who it is, but when I came in, somebody, I'm not gonna point you out or anything, but somebody called me an African, and I want that fade. I want that fade. I want that fade. And I'm like, bro, like, and that's not the first time I've been mistaken for an African. I get it. I got the brown skin, the beard. I look like I could be an African. I like flies be hanging around, but it's cool. I was at the drive-thru, trying to get a Faygo the other day. This dude had a whole conversation with me in his native language. I didn't even know. I thought he was praying this whole time. I was like, let me go ahead and let that brother pray. He was talking in tongues. I was like, oh, my bad, bro. And like I said, I don't want y'all to think I'm talking about Africans, because those are my people, man. One of my best friends is Nigerian, brother, and he is a good dude. But what I tell you about Nigerians, they do things a little bit different than black people, okay? My Nigerian brother, he was getting married. Now, this brother didn't waste money on invitations. He didn't send out invitations. This fool called me up, and he says, Marc, I'm getting married on Saturday. The wedding is 6 p.m. He hung up the phone. I didn't get the RSVP. I didn't get to ask if I want chicken or steak. I ain't get no +1 nothing. This nigga just threw it out there like that. I'm like, all right, cool. So, because I know black people, I show up at the wedding around 6:35 or whatever, right? The wedding ain't even started yet. They still putting out tables. His mom sees me. She says, Marc, grab that table. I said, nigga, I knew, bro. No. I don't know if it's because the closer you are to the continent of Africa, the more CP time you're on. I don't know what it is, but them boy, they was tripping. Now, this ceremony was beautiful, y'all. They had their traditional gowns, the bride and the groom. So the groom came out. They did like a little dance and everything. The bride came out. Then they did a negotiation. So the bride and the groom's parents talked. And he got his bride for 2 packs of ramen noodles, a Patrick Ewing jersey, and some incense. I was like, nigga, that's a good deal right there, bro. Go ahead and give me one of those. A Patrick Ewing jersey, bro, for a bride, bro? That's a good deal. I was like, that's what's up. The wedding's over, right, y'all? So it's basically 1 o'clock in the morning now, right? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, this is how I know African weddings are different. Like I said, as a black man, I grew up in the hood. I'm not used to this type of stuff. They do things differently. At the end of a black wedding, whatever, right? Everybody gets in a circle around the bride and groom, and they dance, and they do a little 2-step, and everybody's just throwing money out, whatever, right? So you just see money just flying everywhere, whatever, right? Now, this is my first African wedding, so I didn't know. So I was just sitting there chilling. I was like, a weemba way, a weemba way, a weemba way, a weemba way. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Wee! At that moment, the record skipped, the nigga pulled out a spear. I was like, hey, man, I gotta go, bro. It was my first African wedding. I didn't know what to expect. Pull a spear out on me. How did he get that through customs? What I want to know. Like, TSA did a bad job. That's all I'm saying. He shouldn't have got that through. It's crazy. Woo. At that wedding, though, I met this really, 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 really nice lady. And she became my little boo thing for a little bit. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. How do I say this? She was a woman who wore slips. She was definitely older. I'm glad you caught that, because a lot of people don't know about no slips, boy. She had them stockings that had the eggs and everything, and it's Sunday morning. I'm stretching stockings all the way back here and stuff like that. We was doing our thing. Now, Miss Hattie Mae was good people. I thought this was a safe space. Y'all judging me a lot, like for real. She was kind and sweet. Our first date, she was like, hey, Marc, I know you're a picky eater, so come over. I'm going to cook you a meal. I said, say less. I said, what time you need me to get there? This old broad told me to be at her house at 4:30. 4:30 p.m.? No, we weren't having dinner. We was having supper. Supper? No one's had supper since Jesus and the 12 disciples had supper. And after that meal, somebody had to die. That's the last time somebody had supper. That's crazy. So I show up for supper, okay? I'm like, I ain't no, I'm a real nigga. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to come on through. I was on time. I walk in, I'm like, it smell good. What we having? This lady's talking about she was cooking porridge. Nigga, where you get a recipe for porridge at? I was like, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, porridge? I was like, okay. Now, granted, she was a gracious host. She cooked me meals. She gave me a to-go plate. Now, she didn't just give me 2 paper plates and put it in a Kroger bag. Nah, she had an actual styrofoam and everything. Like, she was professional. She gave me, like, a year-long supply of Werther's Hard original candy and sent me on my way. That's a good host. First and foremost, she is a gilf. Miss Ethel was good people, y'all. Okay, it might have been a couple of those. Listen, it ain't my fault. I was sitting outside the senior citizen with a Murder, She Wrote box DVD set. I was just pulling them left and right, y'all. Left and right. Y'all not gonna judge me. Now, so after all those times we had hung out and everything, so it was, after that first time, the second time I came over, I had to put it down. Once again, y'all judging me and stuff like y'all don't even know. She was freaked out. She was a freak. She had years of experience. I wasn't ready for that. Like for real. Like when I say she was a freak, she was a freak. Like we was getting it in, and she put both her legs behind her head. She had 2 hip replacements. That thing was flexible, boy. She was like, "Go ahead and get in there." I was like, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am." Yeah. Okay, all right. That might have been too far. Okay, let me tell you the truth. Okay, the best head I ever got was from Miss Betty Jean. Miss Betty Jean gave me the best head, y'all. Listen, she took them dentures out, boy, and she gummed me. She gummed me, boy. I came so fast. I was like, "Oh Lord, Listen, I woke up, I was fixing everything. I put up like 3 shelves and everything. I was mowing lawn. I don't even own a lawnmower. I was out there with some clippers just cutting the grass. I was like, you know what? We're gonna get this out the way. She was a freak. But I came so fast, I had to apologize. I sent her a telegram. She had a flip phone, y'all. Y'all not gonna sit here and judge me. You know what? I should have sent her a fax. That might have worked. She definitely got a fax machine. She still got an AOL email address to this day. And a lot of people be like, you know what? Like, I don't know if I'm a cougar or not. Listen, there's some signs that you're a cougar. If you can whistle the theme song to the Andy Griffin song, you're a cougar. Okay. Have you ever seen Victor from Young and the Restless with brown hair before he had gray hair? You're a cougar. I'm just saying that. Listen, that Young and the Restless boy. Listen, we used to be at home watching all the Judge shows, boy. I was watching Judge Mathis, Judge Judy. Listen, all of them. Now, this is what tripped me out. I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Let me tell you what she did though. She would use old slang on me when we get intimate and stuff like that. Like one night we was having sex, and she was like, "Yeah, you like this snatch?" I said, "Snatch? Miss Mary, where you get snatch from?" Snatch? I had to Google snatch. I've never heard that term before. I was hitting it from the back one time, and I was getting in there, boy. I was in there just doing my thing. And she's like, "Yeah, this that good coochie." I said, "Coochie? They stopped making coochie in 79, ma'am. They stopped making coochie in 79. I came out of coochie. I'm not sleeping with coochie. Girl, you better get out of my face and go on somewhere with that stuff." Listen, that's been my time, man. My name is Marc Fazon. Let's welcome back your host. Y'all enjoy the rest of the show.